As you're lying on the floor, I'd like you to notice the contact of the backs of your heels on the floor and your calf muscles and your thighs, the backs of your thighs and your buttocks and your tailbone. So you're putting your left leg over your right leg and tilting to the left. And look at the ceiling and then down the wall so that you move in one barber's pole, one spiral from head to tail. So as the pelvis moves, the head moves and the spiral continues.
I think they're all moving together, head, pelvis.
And just notice if you feel any different in the way you're walking. If your head feels a bit more supported by your lower body, and if you feel a little bit taller, and that the neck is free and relaxed, and your head is actually now supported by your lower body. How do you feel? Does anybody feel different? You're looking a lot more upright.
I feel more upright here.
You feel more upright there.
Less tension in the
Less tension in the chest.
and the top of my shoulder.
And top of your shoulders. Now, if you've got tension in your chest and the top of your shoulders, that's not too good for your horse's contact.
No.
Which actually is why we stroke the reins. So we work on stroking the reins to bend the horse, so that if you are tense and you forget because you're thinking about something else, you are tense in your shoulders or hands, if you stroke the reins, it's not going to transfer to the horse. So this is until you've got more command over your shoulders, your jaw, and head and neck. You're not going to interfere with the horse's shoulder, head and neck. And you're going to learn to have a soft hand, because you're doing this gently. You're learning to have a soft hand while you school your horse to bring his back up and get him to stretch out of the shoulder.
So you do this all the time?
This is how you build the top line, because the horse has nothing to resist. And then when you stroke the inside rein, you get a stretch down the outside, a release in the inside jaw, and you make space for this hind leg to come under. Yeah? It's powerful exercise. And if I get a new horse in, I'll probably do this for 2 months. And by the end of 2 months, it's got a top line. And this is its natural way of going, because we've built the muscles. You know, when they come in, they might be like this, and that's the natural way of going, where they're strong under here and hollow there. So when we get the back up, the hind leg stepping under the point of mass, which is where you're sitting, and then that becomes their normal posture. And that's the basis of self-carriage, which ensures your horse isn't going to go lame because of one-sidedness.
So
it's going to be a joy to ride.
When you've got a horse and you're all right, you stop. You don't do this all the time.
What you find is once this posture is built, you can take up the slack, and they don't do this and do this and what's over there. Yeah. They just stay there, and you take up the slack and have a nice hand position, and nothing changes, because he goes through transitions like this. He bends, and what we're going to do today is the spiraling. It's like a Tai Chi movement, if you like. So you spiral in one movement that you've been doing on the floor, and when you take up the rein, the horse just bends, because you've done all this stuff on the ground first. You've built the top line, and they're nicely connected, forehand to haunches, back up in between. That bridge construction's working properly, because they weren't designed to carry us. No. And it's the base of the neck, when it stretches up and out of the shoulder, that pulls the back up. But we've also, they can do that when they're grazing, but we've also got to get the haunches working to kind of sit in the opposite direction. So it's like an opposing stretch, if you like. If you think about Sally Swift in Centred Riding talks about a tree, and you've got the tree line here, and the root and the trunk and the branches grow up that way, and the roots go that way. Well, the horse has got to do it in self-carriage, so that this is the grazing posture. But also, when you get the hind legs to cross forward, and then take the pressure off the forehand, the tail goes down. So as he's going that way, his tail's going down. That makes sense. It's what we call an opposing stretch. This is going that way, that's going that way. So the neck coming out of the shoulders is what carries you, because it lifts the back muscles. But it doesn't do it on its own. You've got to have, you can't have it with dragging haunches. Then the haunches sit as you do your circle. The hind leg comes forward and steps under the point of mass. It stretches, and then this leg takes the weight of the turn, so the horse can turn nicely in the spiral that you're learning to do today. Yeah? So we start with the stroking of the reins to build this. Like I said before, when the horse goes along the low, he might only do it for a couple of strides and he's up again. Oh, what's that? What's that? And as you continue with this bending one way, bending the other way, you'll find that he stays longer and longer and longer. So eventually you can warm up in long and long. With the nose on the vertical or slightly in front, you can warm up like that for 5 minutes and he'll stay down. And much nicer to ride, much more comfortable. The sitting trot's easy. It's not bang, 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 bang. It's just
which I find
very nice, comfortable.
Banging them at times.
That means the hollow.
Yeah,
they're not connected. Yeah. And so, a nice thing about when the horse is connected through the back is they don't bang, you hardly move. Because there's a connection there. And you don't find, we did in workshop 1 where the belly's really rolling from side to side. What you find is that actually, as they get more connected, it doesn't roll very much. It hardly rolls at all, and that's when you don't look so weird doing this from side to side, because they come up in the back, the whole thing stabilises a bit like you doing this in one movement. It's the same for the horse when it brings its back up. It doesn't move as much, it's more what you're used to seeing, but you still have this ability to use your diagonal pathways. You still have a slight giving, so the hind leg can come under and you've got out the way. Yeah? And you're straight through your diagonal pathways. So if you'd like to practice that, and I'm going to work on the mechanical horse now with each of you. Do you want to get and play around with that rein contact, get into pairs?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch? Because you're yes. Okay.